He keeps his phone face down on the counter now, even when he's just stepping into the kitchen to grab water. And at the same time he tells me I'm imagining changes that aren't there. Every day it shows up in small, repeatable ways. His phone never leaves his hand, but the screen never faces me. When he sits on the couch, it's locked. When he stands up, it goes into his pocket. At night, it charges on his side of the bed, angled away. If I reach for it to move it, he reacts before I even touch it. Not angry, just alert. Like muscle memory. He changed his password once and said it was required for work. Then he changed it again a few months later and didn't mention it at all. I noticed because the old one didn't work when I tried to unlock it to check the weather. He used to take work calls at his desk. Now he steps outside. Or he says he'll take it in the car so he doesn't disturb me. Sometimes he's gone for 20 minutes, engine running, parked at the curb. His location used to be shared without us ever talking about it. I checked it once out of habit and it said unavailable. I asked him later if something was wrong with the app. He said he didn't know what I was talking about. His schedule shifted quietly. Nights he used to be home by 6 now stretch to 8 or 9. He says projects are piling up. That flexibility is part of his role. He says everyone stays late sometimes. When I ask which days he'll be late, he gets vague. Not defensive at first. Just non-specific. We'll see. Depends how it goes. If I follow up, his tone tightens. He asks why I need to know exact times. Laundry is where I noticed something I couldn't place. His shirts smell different. Not bad. Just unfamiliar. A light perfume that isn't mine. I told myself it could be detergent from the office gym towels. Or someone hugged him. Or it transferred in a shared space. I folded the shirts and put them away anyway. When I ask simple questions like what time he'll be home or who he had lunch with, he answers, but there's an edge there now. Like I've crossed into interrogation territory without realizing it. He says things like, "Why does it matter?" Or, "I already told you I was busy." If I push, he accuses me of assuming things. If I back off, the evening stays calm. I'm aware of what this looks like. I'm also aware that I'm still here, still cooking dinner, still asking how his day was. I tell myself I'm being paranoid. That work stress can change people. That privacy isn't the same as secrecy. I remind myself that I don't actually have proof of anything. I remind myself that marriage means trust, not surveillance. Sometimes I catch myself thinking that if I were more relaxed, he'd relax too. We met in a way that didn't feel dramatic at all. A mutual friend invited us both to a small housewarming. We talked in the kitchen about work, complained about traffic, laughed about the same stupid story someone was telling too loudly in the living room. He was steady. He listened. He followed up on things I mentioned in passing. It felt easy to stand next to him without feeling like I had to perform. The early years of our marriage felt predictable in a good way. We shared passwords without thinking about it. Phones were tools, not territory. If one of us needed to look something up, we grabbed the closest device. He came home around the same time most nights. Plans changed, he texted. Not because he had to, but because that's what you did. There was nothing mysterious about his day. That made me feel calm. Like I knew where my life was. The first shift was small enough that I almost didn't register it. I asked him one evening why he was home later than usual. He said it was nothing, just a meeting that ran long. I said okay and kept chopping vegetables. A week later it happened again. I mentioned it lightly, half joking, and he brushed it off. It's just a busy month. I accepted that. I didn't ask more. There were dishes to wash. A show we wanted to watch. Then the late nights became regular. The explanation stayed general. I noticed I was choosing when to ask questions based on his mood. If he seemed tired, I didn't bring it up. If he seemed distant, I told myself not to add pressure. The reward for staying quiet was a peaceful evening. The cost of asking was tension that lingered in the room. In public, he's the same person he's always been. Affectionate. Engaged. If we're out with friends, his phone stays in his pocket. He puts his arm around me. He laughs at my jokes. People tell me how solid we seem. At home, the phone reappears. The screen goes dark the moment I enter the room. Conversations trail off when I sit down. I've explained this to myself in 100 ways. I tell myself everyone deserves privacy. That marriages don't require access to every message. that I don't want to be the kind of wife who monitors. I tell my sister that work has been intense for him. I tell friends he's just tired. I tell myself that if something were really wrong, it would be obvious. At the same time, I check where his phone is every night. I notice how long he's gone. I replay conversations in my head. There are real reasons I stay where I am. We own this house together. The mortgage comes out of both our accounts. Our finances are tangled in ways that would take months to unwind. Our families see us as stable. There are expectations baked into holidays, into plans years ahead. I made vows I still take seriously. And there's the fear of being wrong, of accusing the person I married of something that isn't true and never being able to take that back. Leaving isn't just walking out the door. It's lawyers and paperwork and explaining things I don't fully understand myself. It's dividing assets. It's choosing where to live. It's the possibility that I blow up my life over suspicion, that I misread stress as betrayal, that I lose the marriage and still never know for sure. There wasn't a dramatic moment where everything clicked. It was quieter than that. One night he said he'd be late again. I didn't respond right away. I watched the typing bubble appear and disappear. When he got home, he went straight to the shower. His phone stayed in his pocket until he locked the bathroom door. I stood in the kitchen and realized I was already bracing myself for answers I hadn't even asked for. Right now I'm still inside this. I haven't confronted him with a list. I haven't demanded access to anything. I'm aware of the pattern, and I'm still participating in it. I trust him, I tell myself while scanning for signs every night. I don't know if I'm being patient or avoiding something I don't want to face. At what point does denial become choosing not to see what's already happening?